Hey everyone, thanks again for joining me for another episode of the Liverpool Connection Podcast. This is PubChat, where we review and preview the matches that our beloved Reds play. Before we get started, if you like our videos, please subscribe, put on your notifications, shoot us a comment down in the section below, and our disclaimer that these videos are not suitable for anyone under 18. So get that disclaimer out of the way. But hey, let's get to the game. Obviously, yesterday was a big matchup against City, traveling to the Etihad where we hadn't won there in quite a long time. I think 2015. And so, coming off the draw against Villa, I know a lot of the our fans were kind of disappointed with that. Even though we probably shouldn't have been. Villa hadn't lost at home since October, so they're a good side, especially at home. And so going into this match yesterday against City, our old nemesis, obviously aren't riding the high as they usually do this season for various reasons. I can think about 115 of them, but besides that, uh, they just gone through a tough home and away with Real Madrid, and so their psyche's kind of bruised. But I think they would have gone into this game yesterday looking to put a marker, um, testing themselves against the Reds, who are really going into this um, game where we had part of the 5 games in 15 days. So kind of the the conventional wisdom that our midfield was tired going into this game against City. But you know what? Their midfield's been tired all season. Their midfield's been kind of old and ragged, and kind of reminds us of a couple years ago when we had Fabinho and Henderson in our middle, and we just couldn't get around the park and let teams run right through us. But yesterday was such a peculiar game, tactically, where Slot starts with Jones and Soboslai as a kind of a dual tens or dual nines, however you want to do it. A lot of times during that game yesterday, it looked like a 4-2-4 where we pressed with the front four, but then that also kept those two guys central and really kept um, Man City at bay in the areas that we wanted to concede possession. And yesterday, winning 2-0, it was great. So that's two nil victories over them this season. So doing the double, not giving up a goal against that City side is quite the accomplishment for Slot's crew. But I think we had our lowest percentage of possession yesterday in a victory since like 2003. So there was obviously a tactical setup in Slot's plans, allowing them to have possession, but really bunkering deep inside. And let's be honest. Without Holland leading their line, it's a different dynamic for them. That their crosses aren't really gonna get anywhere. Foden's not gonna beat Kanate or Van Dyke in the air. So that really takes away an option for them, and he really does occupy two of our center backs when he's in there. But yesterday, because he wasn't, Kadante was able to drift over to the right hand side and beat Trent and help Trent. Sorry, um, Freudian slip there. Trent had all he could handle against Doku yesterday. Doku is an immense talent. Um, Luckily for us, the final ball wasn't there, but he didn't have a lot of options in that middle too to pass it to. But Trentwood is probably happy to see the back end of Doku and glad for the help that Gravenberch and Salah even and Kanate helped him on that right hand side, because Doku was their preferred pathway to advance the ball into our defensive third. But overall, what a great game by the guys. It just continues to amaze me how much Slot tweaks these um, the lineup and the personnel and their responsibilities week to week or even in game. And the fact that these guys are so professional enough and experienced enough to be able to take that um, take his tactical tweaks and implement them on the pitch almost in real time. That's such an amazing thing. I mean, that doesn't always happen. So testament to the guys and their professionalism and their footballing IQ that they're able to implement Slot's game plan. And we saw Robbo over there on the left flank yesterday, and I think we know he's the preferred left back. And what one thing that I did see yesterday, and I know a lot of people talk about Robbo versus Simicus, but the camaraderie in this team is such at a high level, and I guess that you get that when you're winning. But after the game, I don't know if anybody else noticed that when Robbo was cheering the away fans, that traveled down to over the city. But Robbo was cheering them on, and then Simicus comes over there, jumps on Robbo's shoulders, gives him a big hug. Simicus came in the game too, and he deserves some plaudits for coming in and helping keep the clean sheet. But it just shows you the tightness of the group and that there's really no animosity of who's starting, who's playing. There's a collectiveness about them that they're trying to achieve this objective this season on winning the league, and I'm all here for it. But that going at the end of the day, you know, another 3 points. We have 11 games left. 7 of those are at home. We have an 11 game lead. Obviously, Arsenal has a game in hand. We have a game coming up against Newcastle in the midweek. Will not be easy, but they also have Forest in midweek, which will not be easy for them. So um, I don't think either team is going to win all the rest of their games moving forward. But we do have that cushion where a draw isn't the worst case scenario for the Reds moving forward. Um, what can you say about Mo Salah? Again, he earns the plaudits. You know, just he, another goal and an assist. He's our leading assist person for our season since the Premier League started, which is kind of amazing knowing that the different midfielders that we've had, Gerard and Xabi Alonso being part of our midfield history, and for Salah to be having 16 assists already this season as the right winger is just amazing. The testament to his abilities, his professionalism, his attitude. You saw a couple of times he tracked back all the way down to our end line, helping Trent defend Doku. So collective effort. He gets his goal. What a set piece play that was, and coming into the game, we've only scored 3 set pieces all season, so that was kind of an area that we have not really excelled at, which is surprising because we have a lot of height on our team with Van Dyke and Kanate, Gravenberch, Gapco. They're all over 6'2", 6'3", so you think that we'd be better on set pieces, but we just haven't been able to execute that part of the plan. But yesterday, a plan right from the training ground, and I saw Jay Spearing's comments. Obviously he coaches the youth, and they train against the first team in practice. And so anytime that the first team wants to implement any type of set plays or tactics, they play against Jay Spearing's team. And he said that they worked on that in practice, and and the first team scored on that play. So he wasn't surprised that it was successful yesterday in the game. And so good on Jay Spearing, and just again shows you that it takes the whole organization to get the successes that we've had this season. Um, what else can we talk about yesterday? Obviously, Soboslai, such an immense match. You saw him fall to the ground after the match, just total exhaustions. Well, yesterday he had 53 pressures, which is 12 more than anybody else had this week in the Premier League. So you could see he's just his energy levels are outstanding. Um, Great that he got his goal. What a great pass by Trent over the top, and I guess the wherewithal of Soboslai to stop his run and let Salah come and get it, and then go into a space where he can receive the ball, and then just a little shift of the hips and shoot it with his left foot. We all wish he would shoot more, because I think he had an opportunity earlier in the game where he was on his left foot and he could have had a shot too, but he tried to slide it into Robbo. But you know, what can you say about Salah? He's there again. Soboslai, the energy, the Jones, the energy. Just a shame that Soboslai was fractionally offside on Jones' goal, because he made that run through, and we were running right by him, and you could just see um, they didn't have the pace when we countered, um, and that's probably was part of a lot of the tactic that Slot had. Just bunker in and then just hit him on the counter. Um, and it was weird because I don't remember seeing us play like that for that long of a time in a game. Under Slot before, or even under Klopp, I don't remember us just bunkering in, playing two or three banks of defenders and just waiting for a counter. And so that, like I said, Slot does what he needs to do. His tactical awareness and the way he can tweak the team, I'm amazed by it. As somebody that coaches or used to coach, now just ref full time, but um, I enjoy that aspect of him where he does move the personnel around, and I just can't imagine when he gets his the players that he wants. and he gets a full preseason with the guys. Hopefully this is a a springboard to further success next year. But speaking of this season, what a great victory! I think Pep knows he was magnanimous in his praise yesterday. Even though some of the players thought they were could have pulled out the point. Yeah, they edged. They got us on possession. Their xG was only point 0.6, so they had 16 shots. Or each one of their shots was like worth point 0.04. And this is for our buddy Delcros because he loves the xG stat. But I mean, so their shots weren't worth anything. They were just shooting. Um, very limited chance of actually scoring a goal against us out of all those 16 shots. So kudos to Kanate, very immense. Him and Van Dyke had that communication working yesterday, and what a great victory! And hats off to the traveling cop. I went down to Manchester, and we really heard your voices through the telly, and battling the elements over there, and what a great victory. So um, just another game off, guys. We're getting closer to the prize, and I know the fat lady's starting to warm up her voice, and everybody says keep it calm, but you gotta, like I've always said, celebrate the victories. And have fun with it. And these times don't happen all the time. We're witnessing historical figures of our team: Van Dyke, Salah, Trent. They may or may not be with us next season. Enjoy the ride while we have them, and enjoy the team. And like I always say, it takes every single player on the squad, whether it be Gomez, Nunez, Chiesa, all those guys, whether they're on the team sheet or at practice, they're helping the team be better. So support all the lads, guys, and we're all going to celebrate together at the end of the season. But first things first, we're going to go head into Wednesday playing Newcastle. They're in fifth place right now, and they're in a battle for Europe, obviously. I think from third place Forest to eighth or ninth place Fulham, there's only a 8 or 9 point difference between those teams. And yeah, we might get 5 Champions League spots for next season, but that's going to be a race to watch. So Newcastle will be coming into the game, obviously looking to try to get a result at Anfield, which is Anfield Fortress. Once again, um, with all the talk about Gordon coming over in the summer and Gomez going there, and then all the new rumors about Isak potentially coming to Liverpool. That adds a little bit of undercurrent to the fixture on Wednesday. But we get through that, and then we have Southampton, and then we get into March where there's only one Premier League game the whole month, as we get to rest some of the lads. So as we go into that game on Wednesday, it'll be interesting to see the rotation that Slot does. Knowing that that's Southampton on the weekend. Not taking anything away. This is the Premier League. That's why we love it. Last place can beat first place on any given Sunday, but they're historically bad, Southampton, and so we should be able to field a changed team if Slot decides to go full strength on Wednesday. Uh, the so anyway, but hopefully you guys enjoyed the video, and that you're celebrating the win yesterday over City and Pep's team, and you know just another experience, hanging out with the boys at the pub. And sorry we couldn't do the pub chat at the pub. Everybody had to leave right after the match, so we'll get all the guys together this week, and we'll do a Newcastle review and talk about Champions League games coming up. So until then, guys, like I said, if you can subscribe, like, post your comments down below, we appreciate it. And until next time, up the Reds. Cheers.